Okay, so today is day 8 of me recording myself every day until I'm successful. Right, so we're going to dive right into it today. We're on chapter 8, but before we get started, you already know what time it is. Join the Telegram. Link is in the description. It's a free group anybody can join for people who want to better themselves, to be around other people who want to better themselves. Like I said, we're going to be talking about all different types of topics, anything that y'all want to talk about that will help you grow. Right now is like food categories, workout, podcasts, books, and other stuff. Yeah, but let's get right into it. Join that. Link in the description. Chapter 8 is titled How to Get the Results You Want. So how do we get those results you want? According to Dr. Joseph Murphy, by not trying too hard. You feel me? So that's literally the summary of this chapter in my eyes, in a short way. We're not even going to try to over-explain it. He talks about don't try too hard. We don't have to try too hard, right? So let's get right into it. We're going to break down and get a better understanding of what he means by not trying too hard. So the first quote that he says is, imagine that you got into a taxi and gave the driver a half dozen different directions. He would become hopelessly confused. He might refuse to take you anywhere. Even if he tried to follow your instruction, chances are he would not be able to. Where would you end up is anybody's guess. It is the same when working with the enormous powers of your subconscious mind. You must have a clear-cut idea in your mind. You must arrive at the definite decision that there is a way out, a solution to the vexing problem and sickness. Only the infinite intelligence in your subconscious knows the answer. When you come to that clear-cut conclusion in your conscious mind, your mind is then made up according to your belief. Is it done unto you? Right. Y'all heard me sniffling this cold, bro. I didn't account for the fact that it's season changing and it's not freaking summer no more. I literally just thought I was about to do a walking video, vlogging, doing this. And it lasted 3 minutes, and I was about to go sit in the car. But I said, no, I'll sit down at least, you feel me? So, yeah, that's what's going on. Like, literally, bro, 3 minutes in, I was talking, I said, no, I'm not doing this no more. Right? My fault. Quick side note. But what does this quote mean? What does it mean to you? So when he says, imagine that you get into a taxi and that taxi driver you're given a bunch of different directions, he's just relating that to our subconscious mind. So when you are indefinite, you don't truly believe whatever you're telling your subconscious, then it gets confused. You're confusing it, and it doesn't know what you want. It doesn't understand what you want. So an example that I'm going to use for y'all is like, say that you're applying for a job, right? And you're applying for that job, you're praying for that job, you're telling your subconscious you want that job, but at the same time, you're telling yourself, I'm literally shivering. At the same time, you're telling yourself, oh, there's other candidates, there's so many other candidates out there that are better than me, I'm never going to get this job. Or in your head, you keep saying, they're not going to ever call me, that my resume isn't good enough for this job. You're confusing your subconscious mind. Right? So you're giving power to that skepticism, but not saying that those thoughts aren't going to come in. But once you accept them as true and you give them the power, that's where the problem comes in, and your subconscious is confused. Right? So that's basically what he talks about there. Let's get right into the next one. This one says, enlisting the power of your subconscious is not like pushing against an obstacle. Working hard. Let me just restart that thing. And listen, the powers of your subconscious mind is not like pushing against an obstacle. Working harder does not lead to better results. Right? So you don't have to use so much willpower. And that's the like subheading of this thing. Y'all can't really see it, but it says use imagination, not willpower. And what is willpower? Willpower is just basically thought power. So when you're trying to use so much power in your thoughts and you're trying so hard to think, basically is what that's saying. So when you try so hard to think, you're not trusting yourself. You're not trusting that higher self. You're not trusting in your subconscious. So you don't have to try so hard. And as he says, it does not lead to better results. So not saying that sometimes it doesn't work out, but it's not the best way to do things is what he's saying, right? So you don't have to try so hard. You can trust yourself and believe, and ultimately it's a better way because you feel better when you just trust yourself and believe than it does to have to use so much thought, and that leads to stress and trying too hard. Like, literally the thing, don't try so hard, like he talks about. That's how we get the results you want. So, yeah, I'm not going to over-explain it. That's literally what it is. Working harder does not lead to better results. And that's with your subconscious. So with your conscious, you do have to. But when you're we're talking about the subconscious right now. So when you're trying to use the powers of your subconscious, like he's teaching us here, for those purposes, we don't have to try so hard because the subconscious already knows what to do and wants the best for us, as we've been continuing to talk about. So let's get right into the next one. Okay, so this one actually is telling us how to do some of these things. So it says successful prayer requires 3 basic steps. So here he's going to explain to us how to use prayer in an effective way, because he talks about throughout the chapter 2 that there's ineffective ways, which are trying too hard, or like we talked about in that first example, questioning yourself and not truly believing, having that being skeptical. So it says step 1, acknowledge or admit the problem. And then step 2 is to turn the problem over to the subconscious mind, which alone knows the most effective solution or way out. Step 3 is to rest with a deep sense of conviction that it is done. Okay, so those are the 3 steps, and then it follows up with doubts and hesitation only weaken your prayer. Do not say to yourself, I wish I could be healed, or I hope this works. So step 1 is acknowledge the problem, acknowledge or admit the problem. So before we can conquer any problem, we have to be accountable and notice where the problem came from. So if you're telling yourself, there's nothing wrong with me, I'm perfect, you can't grow, because you're not even willing to accept that there is a problem in the first place and dig down deep into where that problem came from. So that's step 1. You have to be willing to not be perfect. You have to be willing to be accountable in yourself, and whatever way that means to you, you have to be accountable if you want to fix any problem, right? So that's step 1. And then after that, you just have to trust that it'll come. So it says turn the problem over to your subconscious, which alone is the most effective solution or way out. So as we keep seeing, most effective. So I'm not saying this is the only thing to do, because sometimes other things do work, but this is the best way, is what we're talking about here. And then step 3, rest with a deep conviction that it is done. So that's just trusting and believing that whatever you want, whatever your desire is going to come about, right? And then as he follows up with, do not say, I hope this work, or I wish this will work, because that weakens your prayer, right? And we keep saying it weakens your prayer, not saying it doesn't work. But would you rather a 90% chance that something will work out, or would you rather a 30% chance that something will work out? You know what I mean? So it's still possible that you can say, oh, I hope this works. I hope this works. But it's weakening the possibility, because your subconscious is so powerful. Trusting in God is so powerful, right? So trust and believe. Like, you never hear Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time. That's, you feel me, swish. You don't hear him shoot and say, before he goes in, he's turning around because he knows that's his bread. He's shooting the ball. You say, oh, that shit cash. That's what good shooters say. You don't say, oh, I hope that goes in, please. No, you don't. You feel me? You trust in yourself, and you believe that shot is about to be bread. You feel me? I'm shooting the ball. Good shot, Shay. I already know what's going in because I'm a shooter. I get to a bucket. You feel me? So that's what that's talking about there. And like I said, it feels better, bro, to trust than to have to doubt and worry. So go for that. All right, so let's get into this next one. The thought I will use my willpower to overcome my failure reinforces the thought of failure. To focus on the need to exert willpower is to emphasize the condition of powerlessness. It is like deciding that you will do all you can to not think of a green hippopotamus. This is a good one, right? So, like it says, the thought I will use my willpower to overcome my failure reinforces the thought of failure. So what is willpower? Once again, willpower is just your thought power. So trying to use all your thoughts and all the power and trying to think so hard about trying not to fail. Number one, step one, as he says, it's telling yourself that you don't have that natural power because you're trying so hard to go to that outside source, not that within source. It's not the subconscious. You're trying to use that self one, like we're related to in the day 6, where we talked about in the game of tennis, that self one is the conscious, the self two is the subconscious. You're trying so hard by using that self one and thinking so hard about how you can overcome those things. You're telling yourself that you don't already have that power within, which you do once you access it and you learn to use the subconscious. You feel me? So that's the first thing he talks about. To focus on the need to exert willpower is to emphasize the condition of powerlessness. So when you're telling yourself that you need to try so hard, he's basically saying you're telling yourself that you don't have the power in the first place, right? And then, oh my God, I'm too cold. I just freaking shivered just talking. He said, the thought I will use my willpower to overcome my failure reinforces the thought of failure. It's like deciding that you would do all you can do to not think of a green hippopotamus. Right. So with that's basically, he's using that metaphor to relate that the same way when you try so hard to think of overcoming your failure, ultimately you're still giving power to the thought of that failure. So instead of giving power to that thought of failure, you can use your power and thoughts to focus on the desired outcome that you want, whatever it is you desire. If you're a rapper and you thinking, oh, dang, nobody not gonna listen to my music, or dang, oh my gosh, like I could fail at this. I gotta get out of this. Like, it's a whole different feeling from you thinking, yo, I'm gonna be the best rapper in the world. Like, I'm about to drop this song and everybody gonna like it. Everybody gonna love this song. It's a whole different feeling. So ultimately, like he says, you thinking about that thought of failure, which could lead to you get more of a possibility of you giving up because you don't even believe in yourself. And like I said, it can still work, but it's less likely as it would be if you just trust in yourself and believe. Right, so let me read over some of my notes here. Yeah, so then we're going to go into the next one, and it kind of reinforces what we talk about. So it says, if your attention is focused on the obstacles to obtaining what you desire, it is no longer concentrating on the means to obtain your desire. Right, so if you're focusing so much on that obstacle, you're a rapper, you're focusing on so much on the thought that people might not like your music, people might not like this song, my friends might think this shit ass. This shit might be ass. Let me give you a freestyle real quick. Shit might be whack. Me, I'm serving pecs. Chick, she throw it back. She say I look like a snack. Ooh, well, come and eat me up. Ooh, I like the double cups. Ooh, we talking about the guap. I don't think I'll ever get enough. Ooh, if we talking about that chick, she bad as up. That's just a plus. Ooh, me, I'm so turned up in the club. I'm throwing dubs. Ooh, and she want the love. I just think I want the lust. Ooh, I be rapping off the top. They think it's coming off the drugs. Ooh, but I swear I'm rapping sober. She love me. I don't know her. She said she love me. I be dunking on these dudes like it's a poster. Ooh, I'm going a lot hard up in the pink like I be covert. Ooh, oh my God, I be black, and I could have been a rapper. My fault. I just be having fun. But yeah, if your attention, and that was off the top, bro. I swear on my life, that's how I know I'm hot, bro. I be rapping off the top, and people be like, you wrote that. Bro, I just rap. I'm just tough. I don't know. It just be coming in my head. But yeah, that was just a quick little promo for me being tough. Okay. Why do I be getting so sidetracked, bro? If your attention is focused on the obstacles to attaining what you desire, it is no longer focusing on the means to obtain your desire, right? So that's basically what we just talked about. If you want to be a rapper, or I'm just using rapping for example, whatever you want, job, movie star, a great family life, anything, money, anything. if you focus more so on that outcome, if you focus more on the outcome that you desire, you're not using your attention on focusing on the obstacles, which is just a better way of thinking. And it does work for some people. You hear stories of, dang, I wanted it so bad. I just used to think about all the time how I was struggling and things like that. But you also have people in those situations who say, I was in that situation, but I thought so much about what I wanted. I thought about getting out of this situation and thinking about being in a big house, taking care of my family. So that's focusing on those outcomes that you want instead of focusing on the obstacles that are in your way. Like, okay, maybe you in the hood and you thinking, dang, like I'm stuck in the hood. It's so nobody ever make it out the hood. That's a bad way to think. Now, I'm not saying it's possible, but like we said before, would you rather that 90% chance or would you rather the 30% chance? Me, I want the 90% chance, right? So, yeah, that's going to wrap it up. That was the last one I wanted to talk about. I'll try not to complicate things. Oh, I'm making sure that's not a tow truck or nothing. Yeah, try not to overcomplicate things. I'm trying to explain it in as simple as possible. So I hope that y'all are able to really understand what we're talking about here. Is that a tow truck? No, that's a trash truck. But we're going to end it off with just my bookmark. Fuck. I need to bring my other bookmark. It's more sturdy. That's not meant to be anyway. The highlights to end off are, number one, mental coercion or too much effort shows anxiety and fear that block your answer. Easy does it. Okay, so you don't have to use too much effort. That reinforces that fear and anxiety, because when you think about the fears, you might get by them, but you got to try so hard to overcome those fears every day, versus if you just focus on the outcome and trust and believe that it'll come. I'm telling y'all, it's a better way to live, bro. You don't live in struggle. You can choose not to. Easy does it. When your mind is relaxed and you accept an idea, your subconscious goes to work to execute the idea. Okay? Think and plan independently or traditional methods. Know that there is always an answer and a solution to every problem. Next, do not be overly concerned with the beating of your heart, with the breathing of your lungs, or the function of any organ of your body. Lean heavily upon your subconscious to proclaim frequently that divine right action is taking place. The feeling of health produces health. The feeling of wealth produces wealth. How do you feel? How do you feel? You feel me? How do you feel? Do you feel like a person who's struggling, or do you feel like a person who's always feeling empowered, a person who was born and knows that they were destined for more? And like I said, you can change. So don't never feel like you have to stay the person that you are. You can always grow, bro. Trust. I'm learning that shit, bro. I literally changed my thoughts. I've never knew it was possible, like, to change the way. And at first it was kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. Like, at first it was weird. Like, but when you keep doing it, it becomes a thing, bro. I'm telling you. So give it a try. Imagination is your most powerful faculty. Sorry, wrong word. Imagine what is lovely and of good report. You are what you imagine yourself to be. Imagine yourself to be whatever you want to be. Whatever you desire, imagine it. It'll come true. You avoid conflict between your subconscious and conscious in the sleepy state. Imagine the fulfillment of your desire over and over again prior to sleep. Belch. My fault. It just came up. Let's restart that. You avoid conflict between your conscious and subconscious in the sleepy state. Imagine the fulfillment of your desire over and over again prior to sleep. Sleep in peace and wake in joy. And we talked about that the last couple of days, about how for some reason that drowsy, sleepy state gets you more into that subconscious easier. I don't know why. I'm not a scientist, so I can't explain it to y'all, so I'm not even going to try to. But it works. That's going to wrap it up for today. Before we wrap it up, thank y'all again if you've been coming along with this journey. Yeah, thank you. Like, for real, that's what's up, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. And I hope that y'all learning from this shit, and hope that maybe I'm inspiring some people to read, because like I said, my whole life I never finished a book, and this is my 6th book of 2024. Right? So I'm only saying that to tell you that it's possible that you can change. And also, don't judge others. Don't judge others if they're not on your path, and don't judge yourself if you're not on others' path, because we all come whenever your time is meant. You feel me? You're not the same if you just got rich or you just became this lit person. You wasn't that person 2 years ago, so how are you going to judge somebody that's not in that situation? Because you don't know, in 2 years they could be in that situation that you judging them for not being in, and you could be the opposite. So you feel me? That's just, don't judge people, bro. Just worry about yourself. Worry about yourself, bro. Real rap. Worry about yourself. But yeah, Telegram link in the description. Join up. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure y'all have my notifications on, so y'all can be ready for day 9 tomorrow. You feel me? We're going crazy every single day. Come with me along this journey. Like the video, share with a friend, leave a comment on anything that stuck out to you or anything that you just want to comment about. Catch you on the next one. I'm out.